Hi, we're the Infamy Fantasy Sports team. We're hosting fantasy sports contests at infamy.gg. And you should like and subscribe because we post podcasts at least once a week, every week. But today we're talking about how the US military has started esports teams for multiple of its branches. And they've been having their players live streaming as a recruitment tactic for our impressionable youths. So what do you guys think? Is this okay to have the military just scraping up jimmies off Twitch?
No, I don't think it's okay. I think that it's like it's super predatory, and the audience they're going for, they aren't they don't know, one, they don't know what they're getting into, and two, I don't think they're capable of handling the military lifestyle and
My favorite
training.
my favorite part is that they're like I feel like they want them to think they're gonna get their big esports break in like the
Yeah.
military, the army or the air force esports team. But like it says, you need to be a certain rank, which takes like 2 to 3 years to achieve before you're even eligible. So these kids are just gonna get bait and switched, like, oh yeah, I'll do like some basic training, and then I'll be an army esports star. But
Yeah.
but
No one
no,
on the
that's
army
not the
is
case.
good. Yeah,
But
that
how,
that
but is this any different from promoting their the Army football team or the Navy football team or whatever? Because there's always those big show matches between the two uh,
I
branches of
think
the armed
it's I
forces.
think it's different because like at least in basic training you're like physically training and getting fit. Like you go from playing video games all day and like hanging out in Twitch chats to going to basic training, and then like 2 to 3 years later you're supposed to be like at the same, if you even had any esports potential, you were from like being deprived of technology, because that's what the military does. You don't get cell phones, you don't get to go out and
Is
play on the
that
computer.
necessarily a bad thing? Kids getting away from their computers, their cell phones,
No,
the
no,
We're
it's
social
not a
going
media?
to
bad thing.
war.
It's not,
Are we in war?
it's not a
We're
bad thing,
always
but like
in war.
if you're trying to join
No,
an
we haven't been
esports
in
team,
wars for decades. It's just been conflict.
We're in every
Yeah, but
sand
we're
covered
not
country,
we have never
not in this
declared
continent.
articles of war since, I believe.
Wow,
semantics.
guess we're such peacecape keepers. You're right, Jake. We've never been in
Jake, what
war.
what happened in Afghanistan, Jake?
Did we declare war?
What happened in
No.
what happened in Iraq,
I'm
Jake
not
Oh, we're
said,
saying
not
there
in.
aren't conflicts. I'm saying that we
Jake said, "Show me
technically
the paperwork."
haven't been in war.
The reason they have to do this is because no one wants to keep. They're having like problems recruiting people through the military because it's just an endless war, and it's not like it's hard to get all gung ho and excited for like, oh, I'm going to go defend the country. It's like, no, I'm going to go secure some oil for this other company, like for this oil
Yeah,
company. It's not the same. The perspective has changed on the military, and they're trying to shift it again with this like esports bullshit.
yeah, yeah. But back to what I was saying. Like, if you're selling it as esports, you're gonna have 2 to 3 years where you have no computer access, and then you're not gonna be at the same skill level, and you have no you essentially you have no shot at like
Yeah, what? Where are they putting these kids? Where do you think
Yeah.
these people are going? That they're not going to be have access to a
bro, you're
computer?
not going to
What
be
are they
able to
living in
play
a hole?
in order to be like a professional esports player. You need to be playing like 6 7 hours a day, and I don't think the military is going to accommodate that
No,
to
of
be
course.
at
Like
to
while
be.
you're in basic, no.
Yeah,
Like
exactly, and that's two
you
years.
have off time. It's like a job. It depends on where you're deployed as well, or when you're deployed, or if you're deployed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but they're
So
selling it as like you can just be on an esports team, and that's my point, is that that's not
Are
the
they
case.
selling
It's
that? Is like
Part
verbatim,
no,
or
it's
part
like
of
if you
implied.
sign here, you will be on an esports team, or
Well,
did,
well, they're the Navy's Twitch channel. The bio reads: "Other people will tell you not to stay up all night staring at a screen. We'll pay you to do it. Get a look at what life inside the uniform of an American Navy looks like." But then like when they reached out to their media person, like, what does this mean? They're like, it's a nod to the fact that when standing watch in various capacities on a ship, a sailor will be looking at various screens such as radar, sonar, and navigation. You're saying that's not misleading?
No, I
yeah.
honestly, that's exactly that's what I thought exactly
No,
what happened. I was like,
Well,
you have
yes,
to
because
think
you
about it.
applied critical thinking,
Yeah,
but
you have to think
yeah.
about it from the
yeah.
perspective
yeah,
of these people
of a
in the Twitch chat,
12-year-old,
of
of a 12-year-old.
13 to 18 years old.
Yeah,
You
okay,
but
they're
like also
impressionable.
the website you're on is about gaming, and then you see something like you stare at screens all day, and then you're gonna automatically equate that to like, oh, I can play games in the military, and especially the recruiter guy who's talking about like playing Valorant or Call of Duty, and he's talking about how great the military is and how he gets to play Valorant and Call of Duty. Like it's super. super fraudulent.
I don't know if it is. I don't like. All right, they're talking about it. They ask questions
Yeah.
about it. Like,
But you're talking to
the
the
only
one guy
things
who's
I had
that's his
a
job.
problem with when they were setting up. Basically, they were signing up for tournaments.
What,
Oh,
the
just-
military
Oh,
esports team?
He just muted himself.
Yeah, he just cut out.
Yeah, I don't actually have a problem with like the military branches having esports teams. Like that's
Yeah.
fine, and like it's just a way of like promoting. Like, oh, cool, they're getting involved in games where you shoot people, whatever. But like when you start like using it as a Twitch chat, that's a lot different from the traditional like go to your school and set up a table and talk to you if you want, go talk. But like this is just like
Yeah.
I don't know, false advertising.
Yeah, and you're getting the perspective of the one guy whose job it is to play Call of Duty and Valorant. He's like, yeah, this is awesome, but like the chances of you being that guy are
The chief propaganda
That's
officer.
the same, but that's the same as like an NBA star or like an NFL player coming into your school and like giving you, oh, this is what I did. It's like it's the same thing. It's just a different body. It's like or different like
It's
organization.
the same thing as if an NBA player came to your school and was like, "I played 2K every day, and now I'm a hooper."
Yeah.
it's false equivalence.
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not directly 1-to-1. It's like that guy lucked out and got the sweet deal, where he gets to talk to these kids and play Call of Duty and Valorant.
Maybe
Yeah, but-
they should just sign up to be a recruiter then, because you too can be a Valorant player for
They
the
don't
army.
sign- You need to have experience to like be a recruiter. It's not like
Do
Yeah.
you?
they hire you. They might hire you on your salesmanship, Blake. Like we just want you to recruit kids in the grocery store.
Yeah, after this video, Blake has Blake's now streaming on the
For the army,
Navy,
for the
the
Navy. I am now
Officer
Air
Sloth.
Force Blake. I am Air Force Blake. I am now recruiting small children
Sloth of-
for
Sloth
war. For war.
we are going to war, children. But I found out also that they're like, I hate this phrase, but they're using an uwoofication of
Oh my god, what
of the guy.
Tell me
Like,
you
so
did
you-
not come up with that.
No, of course I've never heard of it. I'm disgusted to left my mouth, but that's like what it is. And like the Army Esports Twitter account is like posting anime girls and all this shit to like try to be like, oh, we're just like you. We're all
just
weebs, we're weebs with guns. It's fine. You'll fit right in. And we're not even the first country to do it. Like Japan has been putting up like hentai girls on their fucking bombers, like how we used to do like the pinup girls on the painted on the side.
yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, that's despicable. But like that goes to the second point. Do you want these kids to be defending our country?
Yes, I want someone to.
Yeah, we want someone, but like I don't know if Twitch chat Jimmy is
Look,
is the
you
man
take
for the
them.
job.
It's like cigarettes. You got to get them while they're young, because then
Wow.
they'll be super dedicated to it. What? It's a look. You got to get people to do it. So you got to figure out the best way to do it, and maybe this is the best way. You know, I'm not about them tricking people into signing up, but like if you convince them to, I don't see what the problem is.
I don't know,
It's-
it goes back to like the old ways they used to recruit people by targeting low income areas and people like, oh, you want an education but you can't afford it? Join the army. Oh, you want a place to live for the next 3 years? Join the army. And just
Look-
like popping up all the good stuff with that while like ignore all the PTSD and
Yeah.
the suicides and the war crimes. Like you'll just focus on the
Yeah.
education you'll get.
And like
if you survive.
people, the fact that they're silencing people who bring up these things that Steve was just talking about in the chat, like so anyone who brings up like the negative side effects of joining the army, you get banned in the chat. So you're not allowed to like. They're only hearing one side of the story, so it's literal brainwashing. If they were open to like letting other people have their opinions, and the guy had an educated conversation with someone who wanted to debate something and like explain why they're wrong
Yeah,
or
that,
they're
that
right.
recruiter's definitely not capable of doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you have these people who are
Is
just
that
like,
why people go on Twitch? Educated debate. Is that why we're on
Yeah.
Twitch, or is he just doing everything else
Is
Twitch
it to
streamers
join
do?
the army?
He's like, oh,
Is that why we're going on?
like-
You're trying.
his Twitch stream is about joining the army and video games. Like, you
But you
know why
can't
you're there.
You can't just negate the other side of the argument. Just be like,
Well,
no,
they
that
literally
doesn't
can't
exist.
because they've shut down their streaming because of I've never heard this phrase, but unconstitutional bans. Because they're banning people for bringing up war crimes and suicide rates and all the less desirable aspects of the military service, but they don't fall under the same, like you could if you were a Twitch streamer, you could do that, but because they're like a branch of the military, they can't like limit free speech like that. So
Yeah,
they have to
it just comes
re-strategize.
across as they're trying to use this platform to only push the positives.
They're gonna push a narrative, yeah, like everybody.
Yeah.
Like I don't see what the
Like
problem
this,
is.
this narrative is life changing.
Okay, yeah. What if it's for the good? Like, what if they actually do good on their aptitude tests, and now they're just chilling in Korea? I mean, it got a little sketchy there for a little bit, but like that's why they're there.
Okay, but like I've talked to people who have joined the military and they said things about like, oh, I didn't know about like suicide rates or PTSD and like, oh, I wish someone like told me about like all the stuff that sucks. All I heard was like the benefits, I get free school. And I think that's just like a whole different conversation in itself that you shouldn't be able to, you have to like address these things. You can't just hide them.
Yeah,
If
that's
anything,
one way
come
to
out.
learn a life lesson is I didn't know this, but I joined the army, and now I'm always going to do some research.
Yeah, that's
read
kind
the
of
fine
my
print.
point though.
Read the fine. That's not in the fine print, Jake. That's a
No,
problem.
dude, yeah, it's not in the fine print. But honestly, the information is out there.
It
like,
is. It is.
Honestly, it's criminal what happens to a lot of these people. We kind of just drop them afterwards. But I mean, it's a sad reality of war that that people might die. You might be traumatized for your whole life. You might lose a limb. It happens. Like this
Well,
is the
even
reality
outside
of the
of
world that we live in.
combat, even outside of combat, like someone I know who's in the Marines just had a status on somewhere where they were like, it's crazy how even like though we're not at war right now, the suicide rates are still like crazy high. So maybe it isn't all PTSD. It's more like systematic things that like with the training and the recruitment systems and all that lead these people to get fucked up.
Well, I mean, all right.
I think the
I
military.
think we're
things
separating a little too.
and talk
I think we're
about
separating.
solutions they could propose for these issues instead of, because like everyone knows at this point that there are severe negative side effects to joining the military, which is why they're resorting to recruiting people through Twitch. It's just a fact of the matter. So I think they instead of trying to hide it, they should work on solutions so that that doesn't happen, and then maybe people will willingly join. That's what I think.
It's not the American way.
Yeah, it's like it's very simple to fix.
Pump them and dump them is
Okay.
is how our army
What
works.
if being super transparent and honest doesn't get you enough recruits, and now you're getting drafted?
No, I'm not saying be super transparent and honest. I'm saying provide solutions. So, like, yeah, we know that there's a chance that you'll have PTSD. We'll provide you with free therapy if you do get PTSD. I'm not saying that's what they should do. I'm just saying, giving that as an example. You know,
They
just
should
to
do that.
yeah, they should do that. But like, just something to what's the word? To call those nerves you may have about something like that. And it's like, all right, well, I know at least if that happens, I'll be taken care of.
Yeah, I mean the VA is a whole separate conversation and what the problems with that, but I don't see a big deal. Like obviously some of these practices are predatory. Like we were talking about them posting a contest, and basically what it is signing up. It's signing up for a recruiter to come to your house and talk to you about recruiting the army, and has nothing to do with like the contest that you thought you were signing up for. Like that's sketchy and scummy.
Yeah,
And,
they're
like,
giving away like a $200 plus Xbox controller in the chat, and you click on the link, and it just brings you to like a blank recruitment form that you fill out, and it has no reference to the contest or anything. And then you'll have a recruiter at your door the next month. Like, what? Do you have my controller?
Are you the controller?
Oh yeah, it's just in the van over here. Come on.
I will be controlling your
It's just
life for the next 10 years.
It's in the convoy. Hop in.
I mean, is that any different than like timeshare people? It's like, oh, yo, free breakfast buffet, but you got to sit for the timeshare.
I mean, again, timeshare people like that—that's like a couple hours out of your life. This is literally years. It's like
No.
whole
All right,
bigger
but like
scale.
the Twitch, like I don't have a problem being on Twitch though. Like my problem was like the bait and switch with a fucking with like a tournament or a contest, that's just
Yeah.
terrible. But like
Yeah.
having an open dialogue and like the article that we read was talking about like them brainwashing people. I don't think they're brainwashing people. I think they're just having a Twitch stream, and then you can make a decision on your own.
When you're only selling your narrative and not addressing the whole.
I mean,
The
you're allowed to have.
realities of joining the army. Like you don't think that that's going to come up one time before they sign up and actually.
I really don't.
You really think that that's the reality of the situation?
Talked to people who were like, I had no idea that it was.
I had no idea that I was maybe going to have to fight a war when I joined the army. Are you kidding me?
No, not that. Just like the training, like some of the practices that you hear that they go through in the training, just stuff like that.
And why don't you talk to somebody that's not a recruiter that was just in the army? Like, there's plenty of resources that you can do that. And I think that maybe the
guy is like the most knowledgeable person on the topic. You're going to be like, well, this guy who's the recruiter who knows, in my eyes, everything about the military. What?
Well, the military. You know what the military will help with? Fixing that naivety. That naivete needs to get fucking worked out in basic is what needs to happen, because there's obviously something that was not going right where you just didn't think a life-changing decision through like this.
Yeah.
But like most people are put in a position where they don't have a lot of options other than enlisting.
Yeah.
And and that's where most of the people that sign up from, or like they come from like a family background with that. And I think that like if you actually like watch any of these streams, there's a narrative to it, right? But they also are just entertainers as well. Like they're just with the main goal of like getting people interested in listening, right? I don't see a problem with that.
I think the problem comes like the brainwashing argument comes from the age like range that is prevalent on Twitch, where it's the most like 80% of boys 13 to 17 or something in America are on Twitch, and you get that like super underdeveloped brain group, and you kind of convince them like, oh, I'm your friend, like we chat all the time with my boy Army Crusher 77, and
the military is just like Call of Duty.
Yeah, and that's the exact narrative they're pushing, where it's like, oh, you love playing Call of Duty, do it in real life. They've been doing it for years, and now they're just getting like more personal about it with having an actual like military guy to like justify everything and bring all that to reality, where it's just like, oh yeah, it is just like Call of Duty, trust, and here's some stories to make you think so. It's a crazy time.
Yeah,
but you're gonna ruin your life.
Like I don't have a problem with it if they're willing to tell the whole story, if they're not banning people who like provide counter arguments or points that you shouldn't do that, then I think it's fine, because then you have like all the information there in the chat. But when it's
is a Twitch fucking stream the place to have that conversation though? Like most of the time, it's just like
that's the topic you're bringing up though.
Yeah, like you said, that's what his Twitch channel is about. You gotta be. You can't just be like, yeah, we're.
Do you want your 13-year-old child watching a stream about the brutal realities of war?
If he's considering it.
if he's
maybe like later, you have a different conversation about it. But like
to another point, these parents see that their kid is on Twitch just watching some guy play Call of Duty, and you're like, oh yeah, he's just watching a dude play Call of Duty, but you're not hearing what this guy is saying to your child, and it can be, I don't know, it's like super brainwashy and predatory.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
What if he was just trying to get people to be vegan? Is it any different? Like all the same practices? Is it just that
about, like,
trying to get people to
not getting enough protein? But he's like, yeah, vegan is awesome. Yeah, you're selling only one side of the story. If you're
yeah, like liver disease or anything like that. But whatever. So, like my point is, it's like, is it the tactics, or is it that we're trying to get kids to join the military?
It's more the tactics.
Yeah,
I think it's through the lens of joining the military is what makes it such a big deal, because that's a big deal. And if you're using these underhanded tactics to get kids, like, it's all about the end result. Like if you're using underhanded tactics to get someone vegan, it's like, oh wow, who gives a shit? But if you're getting someone to join the military and like fuck up their lives potentially because they don't have all the facts,
Yeah, because I've talked to people who have become vegan, and like the first thing they told me to do, I literally talked to someone about this last week, was like, make sure you do your research because it's not just you eat plants. You have to like have a specific diet and like track out your diet because it's not the same. It's
Yeah,
you
you're not going to be able to get certain
yeah,
nutrients.
certain nutrients. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's not just become vegan. Being vegan is great. You got because you potentially could die from getting
Mhm.
not enough nutrients.
So it is the same problem where
It
if
is
you
the
don't,
same
if you,
That's exactly what I was saying. Being a vegan is also a threat to your life. But you know what? Some people really enjoy it. And the same thing with the military.
But the people that enjoy it and have all the information and they're like, all right, I know this is
Do people die from being vegans? Yes.
okay, but what if
It's
they
the
were
reality of the world we live in.
what if they were like, Blake, if you become a vegan, you could join our vegan esports team and become a star. Suddenly, is that okay?
Yeah, I'm not dumb. And that's kind of my point here. It's kind of my
All right.
point here. It's like, okay,
If you were,
this is not gonna. How effective really is this strategy? One, two. If it is effective, why is it effective? Is it that they're mostly tricking people into signing up? They're like, oh, you signed the contract,
think-
or you're gonna go to jail if you don't show up. So, like, it's not like that. Like,
No,
I feel like
think
that
it's just
article was
the
really like,
platform that really lends itself to it because you're on Twitch and everyone you talk to on Twitch is like they're put up as this person who like Ninja's the guy who back in the day knew Fortnite, or like Nick Merckx is the guy who knows Call of Duty. Like when you talk to the military guy on Twitch, like this is the guy who knows the military. So you're like phrased as this guy who, based on your other Twitch experience, should be wanting to help you and make your life better, because that's what all these people who have grown these communities have done for their communities. Like I've seen so many people in Nick Merck's chat say, oh, joining the MFAM has like helped me improve my life. I got like a promotion in my job. So when you come from other communities that uplift their viewers and then you go to this and you're like, oh, I expect the same thing, it's super predatory. You're using these people's lowered guards from this application to swindle them into joining the military, pretty much.
again, I don't see joining the military as that bad of a thing. Like, I think it's just a personal perspective thing. Like,
I would love for them to like join the military, like, because this recruiter was so cool, and then he ends up like their drill sergeant, and he's like, and they're
They're
like,
just yelling at
"Hey,
them. Yeah.
Tucker, it's me," and it's like, bitch, get his loin.
Bitch, I don't know you. But
Yeah. Anything else to say on this, guys?
I think I've said enough that I'm. It's not that I'm against the military trying to recruit people. It's that if you're gonna recruit people, you have to be willing to tell the whole story, and you can't silence negative.
We wouldn't
side
be.
effects.
I don't think anyone would be talking about this if they didn't have that the Twitch ban.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Like no one would have cared. If
Exactly.
What do you mean the Twitch ban?
the guy who's like asked about the war crimes, if like they didn't ban them, no one would have given two shits about this whole narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Like it has been going on for a while, and then it didn't get any attention until they started banning people who were like, "But what about this problem that you might face?"
yeah, but I mean, honestly, the problem I see with that is that they're silencing freedom of speech as a government body. That's a no-no. Okay, and that's been rectified, right? So now
The guy was trolling
there's
him.
a
Though.
whole
He was
bunch
like,
of
"What's your
trolls.
favorite?
Yeah, he was a troll. He was a troll, and he
What's
was
your
just trying
favorite
to
war
be-
crime?"
Yeah, what's your favorite war crime? It's like, okay, cool.
And then
way
he
to bring
posts
down
the
the
wiki
mood.
article.
Yeah, way to bring down the mood, douche. Like,
I mean, yeah, I guess you're gonna have to like responsibly moderate because obviously that's a troll. But if someone is seriously asking you a question about like PTSD, you can't just be like, "You're banned."
but like, is that what they're doing? Like this particular instance, that guy was being a troll, and that's why he wanted to ban him. But like, are they silencing anything that's
They
not
set up
part
a
of the
blocker.
narrative?
Yeah.
They set up a blocker that banned the term war crime, and that only got through because it spelled war with a 4 in it.
Yeah. They have like these. It's not just this one guy. It's like multiple people in the chat who have experienced this. So You can't like set up your chat to be like, you can't talk about PTSD, you can't talk about war crimes, only only the
Imagine that in
military.
real life, if like someone walked up to his table in the
And he was
supermarket or whatever, and like, what about the war crimes? Like, take him away.
He just slaps duct tape on his mouth.
look,
He's like, next.
I'm not gonna paint the military as something perfect. Like you, like specifically when we're talking about like don't ask, don't tell. Like, there's a lot of there's a long history of the military kind of just brushing these kind of issues on the, and I get where you guys are coming. It's just it's all about the tactics and like how it's actually like the execution on those tactics, not really the overall message. And I hope people, the 3 people that are going to listen to this one, understand that we're just talking about, we don't want these kids tricking small children into joining the military. But like, if this is something that they can come to the decision on their own, and if they just happen to learn about it through Twitch, I think that's fine. I think we all agree on that, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I just worry that the whole become an esports star from Call of Duty IRL will not work out for a lot of their favor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, dude, honestly, like, people have got to think about this one, though. How many of those people are on those teams? All right, so I have to be the best in the military because there's, like, 12 spots, right? Like, put your gamer skill on the line there. Like, maybe,
that's what I was saying. You go through, like,
think about your expectations in life.
You might be good now, and then you go through 2 to 3 years of basic training, and now it's like, oh.
What if that was his entire motivation through
exactly. That's
training?
Your entire play was like, I'm going to be on the military esports team, and then you lose your abilities because you can't play games as much as you can.
Or like a new game is the thing. Like Valorant came out, and he was like signed up 2 years ago. He's like, all right, finally my time. It's like, Valorant? What the fuck is that?
What's a Valorant?
What do you mean that it's only the Valorant team that has open spots?
I rose up the ranks for this. That's enough military talk. We are the Infamy Fantasy Esports team. We're hosting fantasy Fortnite tournaments at infamy.gg. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.